Hi guys, today we are going to talk about 3-3 invasions. We all know that 3-3 invasions after the emergence of AI become the most popular joseki, but still many players have no idea why 3-3 invasions for now is playable and even the AI's recommendation. This video is not only to introduce the variations of new 3-3 invasion joseki, but also try to demonstrate the logic behind why old joseki is out of date. The most popular way for white to respond to black's 3-3 invasion in old days is to block black honey, white extend, black extend, white extend. Then black will play the honey and connect, white play the tiger mouse. This honey and connect exchange is pretty bad for black, because it makes white get very strong. Nowadays, what we play is to extend one more and tenuki, or just tenuki. Both are fine. Black can even invade very close to white's influence. Black's idea is that white's influence is probably not an influence in the future. It's not a group that's very strong enough. Black get white corner with a sente. White influence is not strong enough, so white get nothing. White said, okay, you can try to do that. What about I just play here to attack? Black, for now, can even peek here. If white choose to jump out and fight, black can block. And there's no way for white to get outside. But if white choose to just connect, black can directly jump out. Well, we'll find that white's group is not alive. In the future, white have to spend some moves, for example, to extend like this, to strengthen white's group at the upper side. But after this honey and connect exchange, white's tiger mouse get an I shape. When we are trying to evaluate the strength of an influence, first, we are going to evaluate whether it have an obvious weakness. For example, we can cut it into two pieces. It will not be an influence. But the second thing we are going to look at, and probably the most important one, is whether it has an I shape. For example, even in this situation, when we are do the sequencing analysis, black's corner is actually stronger than white's group. White obviously is very strong, but black is alive. No group that's stronger than a group that's alive. This is the key, because there's no way for you to strengthen it anymore. Theoretically, there's still some chance for white's group to become a weak group in the future. But black's group is alive forever. Still, this is very good for white because this group is still very strong. For example, if black choose to pincer, white extend, black jump out. Still, it is unlikely for black to attack this group. Even this pick may be risky because white can fight in this way with the help of this tiger mouse. So this is not good for black. This is the most common shape. Let's look at another shape. The double honey joseki for now is still very popular. If black choose to Atari and capture, it will be most likely an even joseki, probably slightly good for black. For amateur players, it's playable. In old days, there's another variation. Black can honey and another direction. White can just directly honey. In old joseki, white extend. This joseki in most situations is pretty good for white because white get a large corner. But in some very special condition, maybe it's somehow playable for black. But AI said this is rubbish joseki because white can directly capture. Why this capture is better than directly extend? Obviously, in the endgame, black can Atari here and get some points at the corner. The reason is that directly extend makes white's RG outside pretty bad. For example, black can directly play here later. White of course cannot directly separate these groups because white have limited liberties. This is probably good for black. So white said, okay, I just tenuki. What can you do? White can play the nice move. And surprisingly, there's no obvious way for white to get outside and black actually get an influence. For example, if you play something like this, black can push and block here. Because white have limited liberties, white cannot come out. White have to fix the weakness first, and then black get the influence. Although it's not so strong, still it is valuable. But if white Atari here, black can literally do nothing outside. And even black capture one stone, black's group is so weak that black need to directly do something like this immediately. If black still try to play this move, white can jump out. And in this variation, of course, black collapse. I hope you guys like the deep analysis behind those joseki, and you can try to utilize the way we analyze these variations in the actual game. This is the key for you to get stronger. I'm Leo, American 7-time player. See you next time.